come to just take a test drive, find out which one you like. We won't want you to make a big, bad decision. Take your time. Make sure you make a great buying decision so while you're paying for it, you like it. You don't have to make any regrets, okay? Come on here and check and see what you want to drive. We'd love to earn your business.
All right, so now we're going to move to our favorite part of the show. We're going to be talking about grievances or shout-outs. And so a grievance, if you've never listened to the show before, or if you're not familiar with the show from the 90s, Seinfeld, grievance is, Kinsley, something that has pissed you off during the week. You know, something that's really ticked you off, something that's got your skin just, you know, boiling. You know, you're mad. You're madder than hell. So, okay, we got our grievances and our shout-outs. Now, a shout-out is just like it says, a shout-out. So, a business or, you know, something that you've seen during the week that has really, you know, inspired you. You know, so it could be anything. So, Kinsley, what's your grievance or shout-out for the week?
Well, my grievance for the week is when people don't respect your time. I mean, especially when you're a business owner and, you know, you have so many, you know, different clients that you have to deal with, and you have these one or two people who acts like your business evolves around them, like you don't have anybody else to work with. They want to either, you know, take up all your time, but they don't want to invest in, you know, not only just your business, but themselves. So basically you look at them like you have a meeting, you meet with them for so long, but then they, you know, they don't want to book you or anything like that. So you basically tell me you just sat with me for like an hour and you still don't want to, you know, use my services. I'm like, why did you? It doesn't take an hour to basically tell you, you know, what it is. And they're like, well, you know, we'll think about it. Let me ask you this. And they ask all these questions. Then at the end, you still don't want to, you know, do business. So that would be my grievance for the week. I don't like my time being wasted. You can't get time back. You can get money back sometimes, but time, that's just, you can't make that up.
All right, that's a good one. So mine, you know, I've been watching the news, and I don't know if the rest of you guys have watched the news, but an incident that took place a couple of weeks ago over at Brookhaven High School where the Forest Hill Band did a skit and a routine in their band performance where they had toy guns and they were acting like they were shooting police officers. You know, they didn't allow the kids to perform, or they suspended the kids from competing in the championship today. You know, my biggest thing is don't hurt the kids. You know, it's the leaders there. It's the leaders that said, hey, we shouldn't have done this. The leaders should really be held accountable. You know, don't hurt the kids in something like this because they were just doing what they were told to do.
Exactly.
What was those band directors thinking? That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard. I mean, that's ridiculous. And I was a music education major at USM. I've been in bands all my life, and I just don't understand how somebody could disrespect the police officer out there by acting like they're shooting them. I mean, really and truthfully, I think the band director should have been fired. But that's just me. So, yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's really insensitive, too. I mean, it's insensitive at any point because that's not teaching children respect, you know, to follow the law. It's teaching, you know, to be disobedient, to not really respect people in authority. You know, and regardless of where you stand on the matter, you know, that was just a terrible incident, and they should have really, you know, fired the band director right then and there. I mean, that should have never taken place.
But here's the part that gets me, John. When I you know, saw what happened and the fact that they actually pulled out guns. I mean, not the fact that, you know, it was a toy gun. The fact that they actually pulled out a toy gun, I'm like, no. Number one, it's a bad act in the first place. You shouldn't do that. But then the fact they actually pulled out and acted out a shooting, no, you don't do that. And so no, you don't hold the kids accountable because I mean they're kids. I mean they do what the band director tells them, and so I'm just not sure what the band director was thinking. I clearly think he wasn't thinking, but I mean, to me, anybody in their right mind, they wouldn't want to do anything like that. You don't want to play about that type of topic in any form or fashion. That's too serious. So that's my take on it.
I think the biggest problem in all of it was the fact that they brought out toy guns,
Right.
because there's a danger in that, you know? I mean, if somebody knew their routine and knew what they were doing, knew that they had some toy guns, I mean, they could have decided, hey, I want to shoot up the school. I'm just going to bring a real gun that looks like that one.
Exactly.
You know? You never know.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point you made, Jared. So, I mean, that's teaching, okay, we can have guns at school. Okay, it's cool. You know, so that's really just a poor decision by them. So,
But you know,
The fact that they had a skit at all was just odd.
yeah,
It didn't really fit the music. I think that really the biggest issue with the whole thing was the guns. I mean, if nothing else, they just didn't do right.
yeah.
so moving on, Cliff, it's your turn. What do you have a grievance or a shout out?
I think I'll do both. I have a grievance. It's not necessarily what I'm angry about or anything like that. And a shout out is just, I'm going to shout out and do my grievances, how I feel about what all happened down there in Panama City in that part of the country. That hurricane demolished that part of the country. And I'm from Florida, so just a shout out to those people who maybe lost their homes and jobs and things. That's all I got.
All right. So, yeah, that's another issue that, you know, we're all familiar with that because it wasn't too long ago that Hurricane Katrina wiped out all of South Mississippi. And so, you know, what they're going through right now is, you know, tough. So if you guys can help, donate, you know, there are so many organizations that one of the best ones you could do is Operation Barbecue. You know, they feed 43,000 people a day, you know, handing out, you know, barbecue, you know, and if you could just donate to that, you know, and helping them buy supplies, that would be awesome. So, you know, that's real. Thank you, Cliff, for bringing that up because we need to remember those people going through a hard time.
Yeah, you know, even you brought up Katrina. I mean, even for me, Katrina was the first, you know, huge disaster that I've ever experienced. And I mean, I never really knew how tough times could get until Katrina actually came around. So now it's like all these, you know, natural disasters are happening, and it's just now it's a time for, you know, people to come together and help. It doesn't matter if it's not your family. I mean, it's help people out. I mean, sometimes people can act like they never had to struggle. They act like they've never been through anything. You don't have to be related to somebody to help them. I mean, outside of my family, I mean, I've had people that I've never even crossed their paths, don't even know their name to help me. And I mean, so it's just in times like that, you know, just come together and, you know, help one another.
I think I'm gonna shout out the same there. All those people that are helping each other down there, and it's a grievance and a shout out at the same time. You know, I remember when Katrina happened, and I remember all the people coming together as a whole to make sure everybody had what they needed. I'd never seen anything like that before. I was probably 5th or 6th grade when that happened, and I loved being out of school, but you know, everything that went along with it was not worth it, you know. But seeing everybody come together, now that was worth it. So shout out to everybody down there figuring out how to live life right now and get back to where they need to be. It's all going to work out in God's plan.
That's right. So, you know, just to end on this, I mean, you know, just a message for people out there. If you don't know Christ, now's the time to get to know Him.
You're exactly right. So, a tough situation down there in times like these, you know, especially here in the South, we like to come together and help.
Bring joy to people's life.
And you know, bring joy in people's life to be able to help them. And so it's, you know, again, we're celebrating breast cancer awareness, you know, and again, we're celebrating and hopefully trying to help those people down in Florida in the Panhandle there. Just total devastation down there. Just, Mexico Beach got devastated, with the surges, kind of like Biloxi and the rest of the Gulf Coast did with Hurricane Katrina. So we really remember them. And if you can donate, that would be wonderful. So just do that. Okay, donate. Operation Barbecue is one of those that are down there. They're on the ground. They're serving 43,000 meals a day. So if you go into Google and you type in Operation Barbecue, you'll be able to find ways that you can help with that and donate. So for Jared Rainey, for Cliff, for Kinsley Keys, I'm Big John saying have a great Saturday. Go to church tomorrow. We'll see you next week on Tuesday with Kicking It with the Coach live from Raising Cane's. God bless. Have a great one.